If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 8 of the Newcastle United career mode here on FIFA 16. Everybody thankfully is back from international duty, so we have a full strength team to be able to select from. The initial plan was to do a squad report today, but I think what I'm going to do is do 3 games as per usual today with Burton, Reading and Bournemouth, and then we'll do a squad report tomorrow because that will take us into the next month where the overalls will update. So today we'll have 3 games as per usual with Brighton, Reading and Bournemouth. Tomorrow we'll have Wolves and Queen's Park Rangers, followed by a squad report so we can see how the side is growing to this point. We are currently in very good form. We are unbeaten at the top of the table, a single point clear of Norwich, who lost their first game of the season in match day 7. So they've had a very good start to the season too. Sheffield Wednesday and QPR also remain unbeaten, as to Cardiff down in 8th, although they've drawn 5 of their 7 games. So a decent start, but not the best for them. They'll definitely want to turn some of those draws into wins. Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday and Queen's Park Rangers also, and Brighton also have games in hand. To be fair, actually, everybody has a game in hand on Birmingham and Brentford. They must just be the 2 people that played each other for match day 8 so far. So we're going to jump in to our match day 8 game, which is against Burton Albion away from home. And fingers crossed, we can get another good victory. Iosi Perez starting turning up in the last episode. So fingers crossed, he continues that good goal-scoring vein of form. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content, whether it be this series or the My Player series. Let's go. Sissoko into Iosi Perez. We'll give it around the corner to Jack Colback. Could go back to Perez, and we will do. Perez back to Jack Colback. First chance over the bar. Really nice interlinking play between Iosi Perez and Jack Colback. I thought about having the shot with Perez before I laid it back to Jack, but unfortunately, that proves that that perhaps was the wrong decision. Genie Wijnaldum, Saive. Get it to Iosi Perez. Just go back to Henri Saive. And actually, we'll go back to Iosi Perez. Decent move this. We'll lay that in front of Moussa Sissoko, who can play in Genie Wijnaldum, who's in the box here. We'll look back to Moussa Sissoko. Under his control. Shot well blocked. Tovan with a header. Oh, he was offside. It's been a real tough game so far against Burton. They've played very, very negatively and extremely defensive. They're playing a 4-5-1. And at times it feels like they're playing a 9-0-1. They're just leaving one man up top on his own with 9 defenders back trying to stop me from scoring. But to be fair to them, the game plan is working so far. Still at 0-0, 5 minutes into the second half. Free kick 38 yards out. I am sorely tempted to shoot, but I'm actually going to give it to Genie Wijnaldum here. Hopefully the wall will jump and misplace themselves. And Genie Wijnaldum! Oh, good save by Stephen Bywater. At least I think it's Stephen Bywater. It's definitely Bywater. Moussa Sissoko will take the corner after just taking the free kick. And it's Genie Wijnaldum on the end of it. Oh, a mistake from the goalkeeper. And it's going to be a goal. I think that's going to go down as an own goal because it didn't zoom in on the man that scored the goal. Was that Chancel Mbemba that had that header? I thought it was Genie Wijnaldum underneath it initially. Oh, it came off the defender. It came off number 14. The defender in front of him, just there off his shoulder, which threw the keeper out, which is why he's kind of trying to save it with his shoulders, and it's gone into the back of the net. We are very fortunate with the way that that's gone in. Unfortunately for Damian McCrory, it's an own goal for him after 54 minutes. Their incredible defence for 53 minutes has finally been broken. Tiote. Oh, nicely through the gap to Moussa Sissoko. He's got a bit of space in. Moussa Sissoko! What a save. What a save. Falling backwards as he made it, but he got enough on it to send it around the post. Cross comes in. That's going to go back towards Taverna. Just loft it back into the box. That's a terrible attempted cross. Bywater goes up, catches it, and there goes the final whistle. A hard-fought victory against Burton. They fought valiantly all the way through that game. Defended like beavers, as Chris Kamara would say. But the Beavers weren't good enough and 1 goal leaked through, unfortunately for them. Let's push on into the next game against Reading and see if we can continue. Yeah, you can see there, what they had 1 shot. We had 7 in the end, but only the 1 finding its way past the keeper. Let's see if we can get a win and maintain our unbeaten season to this point against Reading. Norwich picking up another victory though, so our lead at the top is still just the 1 point. Couple of changes made to the side with the midweek cup game against Bournemouth in mind. Matt Ritchie starting at right mid. Rico Henry and Jamal Lascelles come in defence. Just trying to give a couple of them, like most notably Rico Henry and Jamal Lascelles, a little bit of first team experience in the BPL, whilst obviously having players with BPL experience able to play against BPL opposition in the form of Bournemouth. Playing a 4-4-2 at Reading here away from home. We are joint best defensive team in the league with Norwich, a long way ahead of anybody else. So I'd like to think we'll get another clean sheet today, but we'll try our best and fingers crossed get more than just the one goal like we did against Burton. Perez, Saive. Perez went again. I'm going to try and find the Spaniard and he can play in Jack Colback or Genie Wijnaldum. Was meant for Jack, but never mind. Oh, lovely run by Genie and the finish as well. Good strength to hold off the man. 1-0 up inside 4 minutes. That's come a lot quicker than the one against Burton. The pass was initially meant for Jack Colback from Ayoze Perez. He links up with Jack Colback so well, has done so far in today's episode brilliantly, but it was Genie Wijnaldum, good strength, and then just gets the shot off before the defender gets back to him. Really good finish as well into that far top corner. Away from the goalkeeper, 1-0 Newcastle. Here's Rackles. Cross comes in, headed away by Daryl Janmaat, only as far as Stephen Quinn. Trying to get it off him, but Norwood gets this to Jan Kermigan. Not the fastest Kermigan, but is, as we have with Alexander Mitrovic, a tall, physical player that can score goals if given the chance, and he's going to give the chance to a teammate there, and thankfully Jack Colback's going to deal with it at the second attempt. Reading proving that they could cause us problems here if we let them. I'm going to try and poke this out to Matt Ritchie before the defender gets to me, which he's done well. Ayoze Perez. Oh, tried to play that through, but actually Ayoze Perez is going to run onto the end of his own pass. Play through Moussa Sissoko. We are 2-0 in front. A slight little bit of luck there. Again, I tried to overplay it. This Newcastle side has played such good possession football throughout this career mode so far. I feel confident in just pinging the ball about. Unfortunately, sometimes I get slightly overconfident, but drops back to Perez, and that's similar sort of finish to the one Sissoko scored in yesterday's episode. Just putting a lot of power behind it, and it beats the keeper. 2-0 after 16 minutes. Perez, Matt Ritchie, nice little back heel there to Henri Saive. Here's Daryl Janmaat. People in the box, so we'll swing the cross in. It's a great delivery. Ali Al-Habsi comes to punch, though, unfortunately. Matt Ritchie was waiting for it. Good strength from Jack Colback. He's done particularly well there to win the ball back off the man. Jack Colback's been so good for me so far in this save. A few people at the beginning were telling me to sell him, but I'm glad I didn't. Ayoze Perez could make it 3 here. Ali Al-Habsi with another smart save. Really, really good attempt. See if we can make it 3 from the corner instead. Ball comes in. Ali Al-Habsi punches again. It's Jack. Oh no, it's Matt Ritchie. I thought it was Jack Colback for a minute. Here's Chancel Mbemba looking for Daryl Janmaat. Janmaat go through that gap. There's Ayoze Perez wide. So Ritchie waiting for Sissoko to catch up, because Moussa Sissoko can cause problems here to Reading's backline. He's in the box again. Sissoko fires wide. We could be 4 or 5-0 up here in this first half. Fantastic performance from the lads, really putting Reading to the sword here. Already 2-0 up. If things continue in the vein they have been so far this season, we might be on for a championship unbeaten season. The championship invincibles, so to speak, and replicate what Arsenal did. Obviously, won't be quite the feat doing it in the championship than it is in the Premier League, but still, if we can go all... In fact, it may even be slightly better, because it'd be 46 games unbeaten rather than 38. Although, to be fair, Arsenal did go... was it up to 49 games unbeaten total, wasn't it, back in 04-05 when they started the new season. But regardless, if we can keep this up as long as possible, because we nearly got an unbeaten season with AC Milan, and we unfortunately weren't able to do it. That's on the way in. Tim Krul gets there. Well, as soon as I'm talking about an unbeaten season, they pull one back here, Reading. 2-1. Really good header that drew a good save out of Tim Krul, but unfortunately he palmed it straight to the awaiting Leon Best, who scores against his former club, of course. Again, coming against looping header, well saved, but Leon Best ducks down to head it in. 2-1 just before half-time. Maybe things aren't quite as straightforward as we thought they were. Sissoko will go through that gap. Somehow it's going to reach Jack Colback. Here's Henri Saive. We'll look for Matt Ritchie, who is left-footed, so we'll turn inside and a finesser. Really clean finish from Matt Ritchie. He's been fantastic for me since coming in. Another player that I didn't really click with initially, but now that we've played a few games with him, then I'm really starting to get on well with him. Definitely always going to cut inside onto his left there, but that's a good finish. Very impressive finish. 3-1 Newcastle here. Reading have another mountain to climb. After getting halfway up the mountain to ball one back, we've now pushed them all the way back down to the bottom again. A 2-goal lead restored. Good, great header, in fact, from Jamal Lascelles. Get this around the corner to Matt Ritchie. Again, obviously going to turn in on that left foot. And again, a really impressive finish. It's 4-1. Absolutely tearing Reading apart here. Powerful header from Jamal Lascelles to set it up. But Matt Ritchie knows to make that run out wide as soon as the ball comes to the edge of the box. His finishing, when cutting inside on that left foot, is just too good. Newcastle 4, Reading 1. Jose Perez in the corner. Will go for the cross, looking for a fifth. Jonjo Shelvey arrives, headed away finally, and the final whistle might come, but it's not. Rico Henry will find Jonjo Shelvey, still looking for that fifth. Ali Al-Habsi with a very good save to ensure that we don't get it, at least yet. Let's have the corner come in from Matt Ritchie, and it's headed away. Rico Henry, though, the left-back gets there. Ah, that's why he's a left-back. One of the worst shots you've seen, but one of our most convincing performances as a whole, as a side. A 4-1 win at home against Reading. Couldn't be happier with how this championship season is going so far. When it's clear that it's going to be a when, not if, we make it to the Premier League at the end of this season. Next season is going to be infinitely more difficult, but we are going to enjoy this championship ride as long as it lasts. We've got Bournemouth next in the last game of the episode, and hopefully we can continue on in the Capital One Cup as well. More changes again to the starting lineup here to play Bournemouth. Sells starts in goal. We've got Grant Hanley and Dominic Iorfa in, Jonjo Shelvey and Vernon Anita in, and Rolando Aarons gets to start with Alexandra Mitrovic up top. Bournemouth are playing Afobe and Wilson up top, so a lot of pace there. Max Gradel and Wane Turbe aren't exactly any slouches either on the wings, so this is going to be perhaps a counter-attack performance from Bournemouth. Who knows? Trying to catch me on the break. Either that or they're just going to try and pace abuse, but we'll try and use Mitrovic's strength through the middle towards their backline and see if we can outmuscle their smaller, faster players. Shelvey, Haidara, Mitrovic gets it under control. There's a lot of people around, but we are going to get it to Rolando Aarons, who gets to turn in. Rolando Aarons with a shot blocked by Cook. Out for a corner 2 minutes into the second half. Can we finally get a little bit of quality in this game? It's been lacking so far. Back to Jack Colback, whose touch is good. He is left-footed, so we get it on that left, but unfortunately not able to do anything. But Tovan could have the shot. Vernon Anita does, and he hits the bar. Strike from Vernon Anita, who's carrying an injury, but I'm continuing to play on with him. And he comes so close to giving us a lead there. What an absolute hit and a half from the small man. We might try and play him in again here if we can. Iorfa will try and work it back to him. It gets it to Jack Colback, who can poke it to Alexander Mitrovic, who will not give us a 1-0 lead. Because it's a great reaction save from Federici, and I could have gone one pass extra there. Don't give a foul. Wilson using that pace. I just cannot catch him. Grant Hanley waiting for the cross, or the man to run into the middle. Here's Max Gradel. Oh, it's gone in. I thought Sells had been able to palm it past the post. That pace abuse has worked for them. Callum Wilson just blitzed away from Jonjo Shelvey there. There was absolutely nothing I could do to try and keep up with him. Turns inside, and then look, watch Max Gradel number 10. He just gets off the back of the defender and then in behind him. Sells tries his best at the near post but can't keep it out. 1-0 Bournemouth with less than 25 minutes to go. Haidara with the throw to Dwight Gale. Get through there to Adam Armstrong. Can he get past the defender? No. Iturbe powers past Czech Tiote. And Wilson will get it out to Lewis Graben here. They're trying to defend for their lives. Look at the mini-map. They're just all waiting in their half for possession to swing back the other way. So they're already in defensive positions. Callum Wilson brings this down. Bournemouth are trying to do to us what Burton did, but the difference is Bournemouth are better at executing it, and that's the difference between playing teams of Championship level and teams of Premier League level. That's going to be the difference between this season and next season. Vernon Anita was there, but I couldn't quite find him. Dwight Gale's going to win a corner. Wane Turbe coming back to steal it off me. This has been a struggle against Bournemouth, and this is why I am nervous about the Premier League season. Iturbe has deflected that into the back of the net. I think that was going wide from Vernon Anita. I'm pretty sure that header was going wide, and it's come off the shoulder of the defender and into the back of the net. We don't deserve to be level here. Bournemouth have outplayed me, but I don't know how he's got so much power on that, and Iturbe stumbled into it. I can't tell from that angle or that angle whether that was initially going wide or on target. It was... I still don't know. I still don't know. It was perhaps sneaking in, but we're going to extra time here now. That is a goal with practically the last kick of the game to equalise. With it being League Cup, that now means extra time. Zubar down the line towards Lewis Graben. They need to get the ball in the box here. They've switched to ultra attacking. You can see from the minimap that there's just nobody back now defensively, and that could be their undoing. Terrible tactical decision at the start of extra time to go all out attack and only leave one defender back. Dwight Gale will cut inside and then surely penalty anyway. Wow, I tried to do what Gini Wijnaldum did when he cut inside and just held the defender off and put it in the top corner. Dwight Gale not quite got the same strength. Gets tackled, defender definitely steps in and catches him, and it's a penalty to Newcastle. Wow. We didn't deserve to equalise, and now we might be going in front. Dwight Gale won it. He can take it, and he's going to put it top left, and the keeper goes the wrong way. We've turned it around. Dwight Gale makes it Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 1 in the 99th minute. 20 minutes of extra time to go to try and hold on to this lead. Chiote wins that header well. Vernon Anita brings it down, but Sermon steals it off him. You've got to get it forward here, Bournemouth. Turning around and going sideways isn't going to work, and it hasn't. A 2-1 win in extra time against Bournemouth after an equaliser with the last kick or head of the game. We win the penalty in the first half of extra time and win the overall game. That was the most difficult game of the season so far. Weirdly, Bournemouth only had 2 shots. I'm pretty sure they had more than that, to be completely honest. I think those stats lie there. West Brom beat Birmingham, Liverpool beat Burnley. Any shocks in there? Chesterfield 2, Spurs 2. Not sure what that result would have been after extra time. But we have Wolves next, and we'll play that in the next episode. Vernon Anita out for 5 days. John Shelby's happy. Oh, he's happy for now. I'm going to sell him either in January or at the end of the season. But we are now, as you can see here, top of the table by a margin. Norwich have lost again, which means we are now 4 points clear of both Norwich and Aston Villa. But it is clearly a mark of the quality in the sides coming down from the Premier League that all 3 relegated sides are at the top of the league. The 3 promoted sides at the bottom, though, Barnsley and Burton, though, are down there in the bottom. Wigan only in 16th. So it's been a difficult season for the promoted side, and a really great season so far for the relegated sides from the league above. Hopefully that continues. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think we can go unbeaten all year? Do you think it's possible? We'll have to wait and see. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to ensure you don't miss out on any further content. And I'll see you next time.